at my rope. What's the point anymore? I can't even kill myself.
Great. That's great. The original idea for Without a Time Limit actually evolved a couple months before I started the master's program at the Center for Digital Media, and it's been really exciting for me to see that idea, which I had it was back in May, come to fruition in the context of this project. The interactive elements which we developed and which others are going to talk more in depth about was actually building a video game. And this allows the viewer and allows the consumer of the story to actually go through the experience and the cycles of dying and coming back and dying coming back, perhaps even to the point of frustration somewhat, to get it to capture the emotion that our character Dan experiences. So in the sense of the power of the video game in this story to create a sense of emotion which connects you to the character is quite strong, and really the point of the interactivity here. So the video game components are actually there to create an emotional reaction which connects you to the character.
Okay, we have four main areas in the game. There is the desert level where you drive a car and navigate around a treacherous pass where there's lava. There is a dungeon where there's lots of enemies and obstacles to traverse. There's a space level where you go through. So it's the traditional archetypes of video games that you go through, and sort of the character that we are portraying has to succumb to as his day-to-day routine as he gripes to his wife.
First blood.
It was great fun to work on without a time limit, and it was challenging too. Um, we were working in the Sims environment, and I was basically on the cinematics part of the project. We were using the Sims environment and the characters to make a machinima which would be between the gameplay sections of our project. The Sims characters were quite difficult to work with. They almost behaved like real life actors. When they got hungry, they needed food, they needed to take a bath, otherwise, they started looking all green and stuff. We had to actually lock up some of our actors in a room so that they won't just walk into one of our sets. We chose the Sims environment also because it did have the option to create sets, which was not available in the other game engines. So we could easily get a kitchen, a bar, the car scene done without having to model everything on our own. The actors in the Sims environment were not lip synced, so with the editing, we had to make sure that the dialogues looked natural with their body movements and mouth movements. And that was the most difficult part of editing the whole machinima. It almost took us a day for each scene, and I think there were like 6 scenes in our project. We also spent a lot of time and effort in making sure that the sound is good. Since we have a machinima and gameplay, we wanted to make sure that the sound compensated for any of the actions that we couldn't possibly do in the cinematics. So we actually had live voice actors come in and give us the sound for Dan, for Roger, for Beth, and so on. That was an experience for all of us because we hadn't used voice actors before, so that was fun and a learning curve for us.
The challenge was pretty much trying to make it a cinematic experience within a game that was designed primarily for multiplayer. Um, a lot of the things that we've done in this, I didn't know if they were possible at all. Um, including like rendered cutscenes using another video game engine like The Sims. Other challenges included making it so that the narrative progressed not when you make it through the game, but when you die and fail in the game, so that the cinematic sequences happen as you die. And another challenge was probably to make it so that even though you do constantly die to progress the narrative, that it's still fun and it still tries to bring you through the game and makes it seem like you're not constantly dying. Yeah, so the balance between narration and gameplay, as well as challenge and constantly forcing the user to die, was a big obstacle to overcome. This has not been done before, as far as I can tell, using the Unreal Engine. Not as a mod, which is what we're going for. A mod is a standalone game that uses an existing game engine like Unreal to make an experience different from the game it was intended
because like for the sand thing, like a ground texture, rock textures.
Do you need
Hell, I need plants.
textures in Photoshop?
I got sand. I need like.
Yeah, you need like 3 or 4
Oh,
for
sorry.
like what you find in the desert: sand, rocks.
And they have to be really big textures.
No. 512 by 512 or 124 or 1024 by 1024. No bigger, no smaller, nothing else.
Okay. So not those big textures that we had originally. I want these textures for the skywalks work.
512.
Well, I need the textures for the skywalks.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but that's
But
already
that's easier.
yeah.
That's a Starfield. So no big deal. I figured out what those lines were. Part of it was the top of one of those things had a piece where it was cut out.
Yeah,
And it was just white.
yeah, that's why.
I need some sand.
Well, no, I have
How does that
sand.
texture look?
Hey, Sal, I need like one thing we do need is lava.
Well,
We need good lava texture.
Listen, if I've learned anything over the years behind this bar, it's that the essential things in life are meaningful, because we know there could be another way. That you could have missed the chance. But our friend here always has another chance. For him, nothing can be truly meaningful.
I just exist without a time limit. The big choices in life are meaningless without the possibility of failure. Immortality stole my life.